Welcome back, everybody. Oh, what a beautiful windy day before a storm comes blowing in. Oh my. It actually feels really nice out, but yeah, you can see there's just like little hints of blue sky trying to come out. And all cloudy. And I think it's like a steady 15-mile-an-hour wind with gusts up to like 30 or something like that. So it's pretty wild. But just doing my weekly update, and I'll tell you what, I've got some terrible things that happened this week. Actually, they happened at the end of last week, but they're going on this week's video. So just kind of lost my train of thought. As you can see, I'm on a different bike. I'm on my 2025 Yamaha MT-09, which, if you don't know what that is, it's like a naked, aka less fairing bike, which riding it in the wind is really tough and awful. Hey, I got one of those. Just because you don't have any fairings to help you block the wind and stuff, so it definitely is much more of a pain in the butt to ride when it's windy. But alas, here we are riding it, and the main reason being is because I was headed over to one of the group rides last week, and I was cruising down the interstate at it was like 80 miles an hour, interstate speed, and I felt my throttle. So this one here, for new bike riders, this one, I felt that basically just lose all power while I was twisting it, which instinctively, here's another good one for new riders. This side over here is your clutch lever. So this side is the one that you always want to pull in whenever you feel anything that is different than normal with your bike. So instinctively, that's what I did. As soon as I felt the lost power, I pulled in that clutch, and a giant red message came up on the BMW that said like severe engine failure, or severe critical engine failure. I don't know, some crazy catastrophic engine failure, and basically just immediately said stop riding. So I quickly, glanced around, got off on the side of the road on the interstate, and stopped. And I got off, started looking over the bike. I shut it off. I started looking over the bike to see if I could see any oil leaking, coolant leaking, basically anything that was giving me like an indication as to what happened. And I could not find that. Oh, here we go. Off-roading. Woo! All right. So there wasn't any apparent indication as to what went wrong on the bike itself. So I tried to restart it, and it just kind of sat there and cranked, just did but didn't do anything. Man, they're doing a lot of construction on this road. I don't know that I've ever been down this road before. So anyways, it wouldn't like turn over. And I Googled what the message meant, and it was anywhere from the engine's blown up to maybe a sensor's unplugged. So it really didn't help me be able to try to troubleshoot that to fix it right then and there. So luckily, the group that I'm a part of here, we actually have an emergency response team in the area for people to be able to go, and they have trucks and trailers and things like that to be able to help each other. I'm actually part of it because I have a truck and trailer, and I was one of the last people they would ever expect to see needing help, because I I meticulously maintain my bikes. I'm always cleaning and lubing the chain and changing the oil when they're supposed to, getting the maintenances done when I'm supposed to do them. So somebody came, and I want to say it took like about an hour and a half that I was stranded on the side of the road. And mind you, stranded on the side of the interstate. But somebody was able to come and get me, about an hour and a half later, and they showed up, and we got the bike loaded up and got the bike back to my house. And I thought that was the last of my terrible day, but it was not. And the next part is my fault 100%. When we got back to the house, I had my helmet and gloves and all that kind of stuff, and was focused on trying to get the bike out of the back of his truck. So I took my helmet and everything and threw it down behind my truck. And then I got the bike unloaded, and then I went inside, and I have a 24-foot trailer that I bring my bikes around and all my stuff around with me. So I knew that I was going to need to take this bike, over about 40 minutes away to take it over to the BMW dealership to get it worked on. So I got on U-Haul and found a smaller motorcycle trailer that I could just transport the one motorcycle. And then I was like, you know what, I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten. I was planning on eating when I got over to the bike meet. And so I decided to go get in my truck and go get something to eat. Started up the truck, put it in reverse, started backing up, and immediately felt myself hit something. And I was like, uh-oh, I know what that is. And I backed over my helmet. Now, luckily, I do have multiple other helmets to be able to use, but it still sucks because it's one of the Alpine Star R10s, and it was one of the first ones they ever came out with, so I actually had to do a pre-order of it. So it was like a $1,300 helmet that I just ran over. And by the way, helmets cannot withstand a 2,500 diesel truck running them over. So it destroyed it. Luckily, my cardo and everything was okay. So that's a positive side to it all. But, yeah. So that was super fun. And actually, that was, it would have been Friday night. So it would have been Friday the 13th. Talk about interesting. But yeah, so that was my Friday the 13th, and that was terrible. Now the next morning, I got the bike loaded up, went and got the trailer, got the bike loaded up, took it over to the dealership, and basically just told them, well, hey, you have it. Severe engine failure. Hopefully it's covered under warranty. And I guess you have this until I can get it back. So they took it and told me they wouldn't be able to get to it that day, which I expected. So they did call me 2 days ago now and told me it was, ignition coil number 4 something or other. But it was covered under warranty. So nice part for me. It's not going to cost me anything to get this fixed, which is terrific news because I really didn't want to have to spend any money on a bike that's only 2 years old that I bought brand new and have a warranty on it. So far, I will say that my experience with BMW as a whole, as a company, and buying from them has been a pretty good experience for the most part. So far, their services and all that kind of stuff, yes, they are just a little bit more expensive, like per hour than, your basic Yamaha, Honda, Kawasaki. It would be like, just like a car. A BMW car is going to be more than a Honda car. But so far, their service departments have been good. They've done what has needed to be done and kept the bike running in good condition. This, I'm just going to hope, was a fluke because I know a lot of people have had issues with these year BMWs, this like generation of BMWs. So I'm hoping this is just a fluke, since I am at over 12,000 miles, and hopefully nothing else goes wrong. I'm gonna knock on this bike. But yeah. So the positive side is it is covered under warranty, and they quickly reached out to me. Now, I will say this, this little caveat to BMW and to just dealerships in general. Be very cautious of dealerships. So I bought this motorcycle in Nashville at Nashville Motos, and you know what? They were super great to deal with and everything like that. And I was talking with the finance warranty lady and stuff, and she asked me if I wanted to purchase a service plan. And that service plan would cover 3 services of my choosing. And the one question I asked was, do I have to use this at your dealership? And does it ever expire? And the answer was no to both of those questions, because I travel for work, and so I was thinking about that, because why would I buy a service plan that I have to get done in Nashville when I'm not going to be in Nashville, when I don't live in that area? And I was planning on using them for the big services, like the 12,000 mile service, the 18,000 mile service, to save me some money during those times. So I asked those questions, came back with, no, absolutely not. They never expire, and you don't have to use them here. You can use them at any BMW Motorrad dealer. Okay, perfect. I'm down in Alabama, Florida area now. I take my BMW over to the closest one in this area, and I drop it off for the 12,000 mile service. And I tell them, hey, I have a service plan that should be able to cover most of this. They look it up and they're like, there's nothing on your account for this in BMW. So I call the dealership in Nashville that I bought it from, and I bring it up to them. Yeah, hey, just so you know, I brought it in for service and they're saying that it's not on there. I'm hoping this is just a mistake. And then the guy tells me, he goes, well, no, that service contract has to be done here at this dealership. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I asked that question to your salesperson ahead of time. And then he also told me that it only lasts for 18 months, which means it's expired now at this point, because I've had the bike for almost 2 years. So not only did it actually expire, but I had to use it there at that dealership. The whole point of me getting that was that I didn't have to do those 2 things. So I tell him, I'm like, man, like, you know, this is awful, because your salesperson told me something specific. And he goes, well, I mean, it is in your contract. So always remember to read your contract, no matter what they tell you, because people lie. And it's terrible that they do that, especially just to get sales, which is awful. But, you know, this is the manager of the entire place. And so he's like, well, let me make it up to you. So how much is the service? And it was like $700 for the actual service. So he's like, well, how about I write you, you know, a check to cover half of it? You know, because I feel bad that they lied to you, and we've actually fired that person because we found out that they've lied to multiple people and stuff, which to me, I'm like, you found out your employee lied to multiple people, and now you're not honoring any of the lies that they told anybody. Bad business practices, by the way. If you know that your employee has been lying to people, and then you don't honor the fact that they lied to people and honor those things, terrible, terrible things. So I have a very poor feeling about that dealership in specific, so I would never buy anything from Nashville Motos ever again. And I would tell anybody that I know never to buy anything from Nashville Motos. They do not deserve the business, because they do not do good business practices. But anyways, so he told me, hey, how about I give you a check for half of it, for $350? And I was like, you know what, at least you're trying. you know, you're at least trying to do something. I get it that a lot of it's out of your hands. You have bosses, things like that. I get it. I work in business. I work in construction. I understand. Now, granted, my company works a little different. If I called my owner and said, hey, I messed up and I promised something that we couldn't promise, so it's going to cost us like $50,000, my owner would be like, absolutely, you take care of it, do what you need to do to make it right. Because he's a good business person, and integrity means something to him, and integrity means something to me. Obviously, integrity doesn't mean anything to Nashville Moto. But anyway, so I was hoping, hey, you know what? They're going to try to make it right. So I've been waiting. It's been, I don't know, like a month and a half, and still no check. He did reach out to me and say, hey, you know what? Instead of the check, could I give you like $700 of credit towards BMW shop, you know? And I'm like, to buy gear or whatever, swag or whatever. I don't wear anything that represents that I ride a BMW or anything like that. And I went online and I looked over their shop to see if maybe there was anything that would be of interest to me, which there was not. So I messaged him back and I was like, hey, no, I'm good. I don't really need any gear. You know, I have the gear that I want. So just go ahead and send me the $350 check. So now it's been like 6 or 7 weeks since then, and still no $350 check. So it sounds like I'm probably not going to get anything, and he's going to use the, well, you signed a contract, so even though you signed a contract based off of somebody lying to you and whatnot. And hey, you know what? That's my fault. That's my fault. I should have read the contract, but I didn't, and here we are. But still doesn't really make up for the fact that they just have terrible integrity. And I know some other people, like some big YouTubers like Fastlane D, that have actually bought a bike from Nashville Moto, and I saw that, and he spoke very highly of them, which is why I ended up going over there while I was there to buy my BMW. Hopefully he's had a better experience if he's had to deal with them in any way. But yeah, my opinion of them is do not buy from them. So it is what it is, and I'm out. I think the whole service plan cost me like $1,800, plus it was part of the financing thing, so, you know, plus whatever interest that it's paid on that and whatnot. So it probably cost me like $2,500 over the course of owning the bike, which is awful because I didn't get to use any of it, but whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. You live and you learn. But yeah, so I don't know when I'm getting the BMW back. So for now, I am just riding one of my other bikes that I have at the moment. And yeah, we'll see. I did get my new hoodie done, which was really exciting. So I always wear a Raven hoodie, and I did some customization on one. So I'm going to show everybody that soon, and that way you can kind of see the customization I did with it to kind of match the BMW. But I'm going to wait till I get the BMW back so, you know, it goes with the bike that I made it for. Anyways, all right, I'm going to get off here, y'all. I hope everybody has a terrific week, and hopefully you don't get hit with these storms that I'm about to get hit with. And if you do, please stay safe. And if you do go out riding this week, ride safe, be careful, watch for crazy people. We've had 2 accidents here in the last like 24 hours, like motorcycle fatality accidents in the last 24 hours. So be very, very careful, be mindful, pay attention to what's going on around you. Anyways, you all have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.